Hello everyone and welcome to this video where we're going to take a look at the latest update to hit Stormworks. If you've been following along, you know I went on vacation with my wife. We were in Europe for 2 weeks. It was awesome. It was fun. But keep in mind that that was the longest time I've taken a break from making videos. So I'm back and I plan on hitting the track running or hitting the ground running and releasing a bunch of stuff, including the newest Rat Task 2, which is out already in the Steam workshop. So you can already use the new RTV that I made. Now, what is this update? Well, we have 2 new parts, which we're going to get to. But before that, I'm going to read this to you. And yes, I know you can read, but bear with me as we go through. So it is called the Tank Tracks Update, and we get new tank tracks with different radii to support players' request on having new tracks that are 2 blocks wide. I'm going to explain how that works. We also got a new composite input for the radar gimbal, allowing aimable radar without pivots and robotic parts. So they also did some fixes, as you can see here, typos and crashes and meshes and stuff. So you can take a look at that. I'm going to rate it up and let's hop in the game. Now I do got to give it to the developers, because even when they release small updates, new parts, new things, it is appreciated, because just getting some new elements that can spruce up creations, it is awesome. And not every update has to be huge with massive things. Keep in mind, people, these are free updates, and I really appreciate the time and effort the developers put into giving us kind of new content. So if we type in wheel, you can see we have all of these tank tracks. Now, we used to have these are not new, the huge, large, medium, and small. Now, the new one is the small/wide. Now, bit of a funny name, but you can see it's changed the description to say widened small wheel for tracked vehicles, and you have to have the same type. Now, keep in mind, between this one, 20 mass, and this one, 35 mass, so it's almost double. Now, if we go to the medium ones, keep in mind, these are 30. So these are heavy. They're heavier than the medium ones, and if we go to the regular wheels, you can see here, these ones are 20, and in fact, they're the same weight as the small ones. So here, you're not really gaining much weight, but here, you're almost doubling it. How do they look in the game? Well, there you have it. So these are the ones that we previously had here, of course, all of these, in fact, and now we get these nice widened ones, which you could see when we spawn into the creation here. They are the same width, or yeah, the track width, as the medium ones, but it gives us a nice small diameter. So you still have kind of a smaller diameter creation, but you have the nice wide tracks. These ones are cute and they work sort of in certain creations, but these definitely, if you're going for a tank look or something, these are definitely more rugged. For my specific creations, these old small tracks actually work quite well. You could see on the C-beam that I really wouldn't want the wider tracks. These kind of just fit in the small space that I have anyway. And on the skid steer, again, these work. They're in proportion to the vehicle itself, which does help, whereas these ones would give you that extra bit of width. So if we hop on into the game just to see how it looks, I will redo this one using the new tank wheels, or the new tracked wheels. So we'll grab this guy here and we'll place it where we have the actual drive. Just make sure the arrows are all in the right direction, like that. And then I can place just the wheel, so the one that doesn't have the drive, and those can go in the other slots as long as they are in the same location. Now see how I had a battery there? That's kind of gonna not help us. Just a fun little tip for anyone watching this who comes across a similar problem, like if you kind of deleted a block and you wanted to put it there, well, what I'd recommend is you place something like this and make sure to place other parts as such, and then if you just select them here and here, you can put it into that slot. But what you can't do, of course, is attach it to the body of the vehicle unless you have this. So if we try to attach that, it doesn't work. But if we grab this, bring it out to there, and bring this out to here, now we've actually gone ahead and attached it. So just a little fun tip. Now you can see that's already looking quite beefy and kind of cool. And I can go ahead and put them on the other side here using kind of a similar method. I just lumped them all together. So when I place it here, it's easy to join in. And there we go. Loading it in, you could see right away it changes the entire profile of the thing. So we went from kind of just a compact skid steer to something that looks quite beefy, rugged, almost military in nature. So I really think these tracks work perfectly in tanks and military vehicles, rugged things. I probably will keep my small tracks on my skid steers just for the reason of I just like them being a little bit more compact, and there's no need for this. But let's hop on into this thing, fire it up, and see how it handles with these. Now, one thing I'm quite curious is, do these new wheels affect the speed at which you can go, the power that we put to the ground? Because if you know from kind of how Stormworks works, and obviously real life too, if you have a bigger wheel, your vehicles are going to need more power. All those lifted Jeeps and stuff with massive like tires for going mudding and stuff, they do take more power to spin and get going than a small wheel. So similar thing happens in real life. Now here we're going 9 kilometers an hour in this variant with the large tracks. For a proper apples to apples comparison, here I have the one identical with the original small tracks. So we had 9 kilometers an hour in the other variant. In this one, we are up to 13, 14, and climbing. So it does let you go faster if you use the smaller tracks. So keep that in mind. You'll have to have a stronger power plant for using the same small but wide tracks than if you're using the regular small and narrow tracks. In the previous test I was turning, in this one we're just going to have a straight up drag race. So we're just going straight. Yeah. 8, 9, so you can see the tracks are going. It is taking a bit more power and strength to roll these massive wheels, which makes sense. The other update we got was for the radars. Now, a lot of people have been asking me to make a radar tutorial, and I'll be frank with you, I'm not that much of a coder. I'm not one that goes into these and writes massive Lua codes and can give you, well, not this code, but let's see, something like this. So, I didn't write this. This is not my microcontroller. I give full credit to the person who wrote it. But the point is, I'm not the best person to ask for that. I'll be the first to admit. I'm sure I could do it. I'm sure I could figure it out, but it's not my favorite thing to write massive codes. So, I'm not going to even go there. So, just FYI, forewarned. I'm being straight up, blunt, honest, whatever you want to say. But what I will do is explain that with the new update, all of the radars, with the exception of the small radar missile, which is tiny anyways, all of these now have a new composite input for gimbal. So this one has gimbal, the dish has gimbal, the basic has gimbal, and the AWAC has gimbal. So all of these have gimbal. And what this will allow you to do, presumably, is you can have you'd go here and you'd attach value 1 for the yaw, you'd attach value 2 for the pitch, and you'd be able to set the radar in a way as if you are using a series of pivots. So of course, back in the old days of Stormworks, even for lights and stuff, you'd be able to do something like this, and you'd mount your pivot, for example, to that, or your radar to that, and you'd be able to control the direction and whatnot. This is something we used to do with the lights, such as this. We'd kind of do this and throw a light on, and that's how I'd be able to aim it down on a ship deck. Well, then we got the nice, beautiful composite pivot. So this saved us for our headache and kind of moving parts for our vehicles, Likewise, this new composite node is doing the same thing here. So the ultimate goal is to just reduce the amount of bodies that you have in your creations. There's no need for so many massive things that have to move. It creates lag in the game. It doesn't work as well with multiplayer when you have so many bodies. They just interact funny and do things. So anytime we can get nice coded parts like this that can allow you to plug in values and get the same end goal as if you used pivots is great. I applaud that, and I really love when the developers give us stuff like that. So there you have it. In essence, those are the updates, the two updates. We got tracks, we got a node for composite gimbal. Not every update can be huge. I totally understand and get that, but I think for the tank builders and for people that like this type of thing, these are really nice tracks. They just change the look of the creation entirely. I mean, it's undeniable when you look at the left one and the right one. The right one just looks way more beefy. Undeniable. So I really like that. It is a part visual and it is a part functional difference, as you noticed with its speed, but I applaud it and welcome it immensely. Just to wrap up the video, here is the new creation that just hit the Steam Workshop. It is a RTV that is super useful, super versatile. I added some new things, including the ability to lift it up by crane. It has been widely anticipated. I did release videos for this in the past, and it has been out with my YouTube members and Discord server boosters, my supporters, for a while now. So I do want to give a huge shout out to all of my supporters. Thank you so much for giving me that extra little bit of appreciation. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you do enjoy the stuff that I give you in return, such as early access to vehicles, early access to videos and whatnot. So I do recommend, if you are interested, to take a look at what the different supporter roles have to offer. But I just want to thank all of you who give me that extra bit of loving and support. I really do appreciate it. I have been keeping up on my new members while I was on vacation, but this is the first opportunity I have to actually say it. So thank you. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you also will enjoy the other creations and things that I do make for you, other videos. I have a whole lot of things planned, so stay tuned for that. I do want to just say that I actually do have a very busy summer. I'm drywalling, so wish me luck. I'm on the mudding phase. As any of you know, that's kind of a very finicky disaster, but I'm doing that right now. I'm attending a few weddings. I have a lot of other stuff planned, but I'm doing my best to really keep up and give you the best vehicles and creations that I could think of. So thank you all for watching, and until next time, happy Stormworksing, everyone.